Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mike again, and I'm here today I think we're going to talk about deep work. And many of you have heard me from time to time in some of the car talks, Facebook, Twitter, talk about this concept of deep work. And you might have kind of an idea of what it is, but I figured I'd take some time to really kind of explain, the way I see deep work and my kind of understanding of what it is. So really we have two kinds of work that we really do. We have deep work and we have shallow work. And deep work is really singular focused work that has a singular goal that you're working towards and you're putting all of your energy into it. So if I think of something in the outside of the technology world or my day-to-day job of what deep work would be, it would be training for a marathon. So back in many years ago, I used to do triathlons and marathons and those sorts of things. And for those of you that have done a marathon, you know that you just don't really wake up some morning and go, hey, I'm going to do a marathon tomorrow. Most people go through a process for training for a marathon, and most people go through a training schedule, and that schedule involves different types of work. You have deep focused work that might be on speed. You might have a deep focused workout. Usually once a week, I would do a training run that was race pace. So it was based on what I would do during the race, and it was singular focused on just my breathing, my running stride, all of the things that would be important during a race to be focused on. And then other things that would be in my training is I'd have stuff that would be more shallow, is I just be going out there to get miles in, be doing a recovery workout, just something to get your body moving and to help you recover. So that's kind of some, from an athletic standpoint, the differences between those, because if you think about it, if you're training for a marathon, you can't be going 100% the whole time. And we need to think about that when we think about our workday. We're never going to be going 100% all of the time, because most people can only do this deep focused type of work 2 to 3 hours a day. People that have practiced this, people that really are, invested in this deep work model, they might get in 3, 4, maybe 5 hours a day, but that's really practicing, being very thoughtful about what you're doing and being really focused in on your task and that being your only distraction. So for most of us, we can probably only look to get maybe 2 or 3 hours of deep work in a day. The problem we run into is shallow work. And shallow work are things like email, conference calls, social media, YouTube, things that maybe they seem like work, but if we really take a step back, they're not a huge value. They're not deeply focused on meeting a, big goal that we have for ourselves. Not that those aren't important, and those are things that we have to do for many of our jobs in order to get work done. But what we need to do is we need to look at it and go, okay, how can I manage all of these different things? Because for me, what I think the big thing is, and where people get challenged, is that you think about your workday. You get up and you check your phone and you check your messages and you go, oh, there's a fire, I got to take care of that. But then you got to get your kids to school, and then you've got to get a lunch, and you're off to work, and you're thinking about a bunch of different things, and then you get to work and you're trying to put that fire out, but then somebody calls a meeting, and you're constantly going back and forth between all of these things, and you have what's called attention residue. And basically what that means is that even though you've finished a task, you're still thinking about that. So think about it. The last time you were working on, say, like a report, you're in it, you're really getting into it, thinking about it, exactly what you want to do, putting it down on paper. Somebody stops in your cube and is like, hey, I got a problem over here. Can you help me? And you're like, oh, okay. You turn your focus. So now you've gone to focus on that, but chances are your brain is still thinking about, oh, I should do that for this report. So now not only are you not 100% focused on the thing that you're looking to do, you're now thinking about this other thing. So when you come back to it, it's going to take you a lot more time. And usually people say it takes anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes to get back to a task after you've been interrupted. So how do you make this work in your workflow? That is definitely something for a longer talk that we're going to do. But I think what you need to think about is, I think you need to think about carving time out for yourself where you can focus on singular things. So let's say you've got, let's say you want to learn PowerShell. You put some time away where it's just your time, where it's time for you to deeply focus on that. You put your phone in another room. You turn off all alerts. You don't have email or messaging or anything. You tell your family that unless there's an emergency, this is my time to really focus. And then you take that focus. The one thing you have to do is when you start building this into your work days, you need to have flexibility. Because many of us have responsibilities that require that we need to drop things and go take care of something. And just because you're saying you're going to be doing deep work and don't bother me, that you're not there to help, it's just a matter of trying to get the people around you to understand what's an emergency that you really needed, or what's simply something that we normally ask Mike to do that, but we could do that ourselves, but the normal thing is to go ask Mike. And so what I've found with my deep work, because my situation's a little bit different, is that it's taken some letting the people that I work with know what my strategies are, how my workday works, and then planning my day accordingly for that. So that's just kind of a little bit about deep work. I just wanted to get down some stuff that I was thinking about. I just had a workout, got home from my workout, I was kind of brains going, thinking about stuff and talking with some people this week about deep work. So I just wanted to get some things down. I am planning a future car talk to talk about, kind of show you all how I do deep work, talk a little bit about my process, show you some of my schedule and things like that. So look for that fairly soon. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it gives you a better understanding of what deep work is, and we'll see you next time.